Good evening. Welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles, and we're happy to have you with us on the program tonight. We have a phone line up there. Well, we don't have a line up there. We have a phone number up there, which you can use to call the phone line. If you'd like to take part in the program, we also have our email address up there that you can use. I'm pretty sure it's up there, but I can't see it. So I will, just to be safe, I'll tell you it is KECHOLS 47 at gmail.com. And we hope you will take part. Love to hear from you during this hour of Star Talk. We have two winners. We thought we had, um, well, we think a lot of things. But the point is, we got two winners in our contest, last iteration, the lightning round of our NASCAR contest. This is for free movie passes at Hollywood Cinema. And more about that in a second. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Well, good evening, Mr. Ken.
Good evening.
Let's get down to business.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, my man come up short, but I'm not worried about it. At least he finished second.
He didn't come up much short, but short is short.
Yeah, he should have ran it down and bumped him.
That's the 12 we're talking about. Well, now you know that was not going to happen. He could have done that. He could have overdriven one of those turns and he could have bumped Joey Logano, but there's no way he was going to do that because Penske would have been very, very angry. And Blaney might have been out of a job next year. So that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. Well, there's always next year. He'll go back and get him again.
Well, it was a great finish for both of them. Great year for Penske Racing.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was a really, really good race and a really good finish for the season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it wasn't dull of one car leading the whole race.
Well, no, it was exciting. It was in doubt right to the last lap, really.
Oh, yeah. Now, getting down to my vacation, it'll be the first week. My last one will be the first week in December.
All right. Now we'll talk about really important stuff now, and that's your vacation. So you're going on vacation the first week of December.
Yeah. And I'm planning on raising some mischief.
Well, you don't necessarily wait for vacation to do that, do you?
Well, I have some free time. I can't get in trouble with my job, but that's what I'm planning on. I'm planning on painting some people's houses pink.
Painting people's houses. All right. Well, we probably don't want to hear too much about that. I think the thing that is on everyone's mind, I think the big question in the public mind is how will the parking lot look during the week that you're not there? Is that parking lot going to be kept neat and presentable?
Well, I've got three other guys. They're good. They can do the job. They're up to it, like I am. And now we work together as one team.
All right. So you're going to Majorca? Is that what you said? A week in Majorca?
I'm planning. I want to go to Egypt if they'll let me in.
Oh, I'm sorry, Egypt. I get Egypt and Majorca, of course, confused all the time. I think everybody does. So you're still waiting on word about getting into Egypt.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on my passport and permission to come.
All right. Well, we're kind of getting down to the wire on that. So we will all wait on tenterhooks until we know how that turns out.
Okay, well, I want to say hello to everybody and to my friend who met me at Bojangles one time. Hey, I'm there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 4:30 to about 10. If he comes by again, give me a holler on Star News. Thank you, Mr. Ken.
Well, thanks for calling. Good to hear from you. Yeah, he had the 12. He's not the only one. Quite a few people had the 12. Quite a few people sat and watched the 12 almost win, but not quite. Early Bird and Tar Heel in Mayodan are tied our two winners in our NASCAR contest lightning round, this two-race quickie segment. Congratulations to Early Bird and to Tar Heel in Mayodan for being co-winners. Your gift is movie passes at Hollywood Cinema on Hollywood Mountain in Martinsville. And stay tuned. Well, not necessarily here. In your watch your email. Well, Early Bird doesn't have email, so I'll have to tell Early Bird by phone. It's Tar Heel in Mayodan. You watch your email for details on how to collect your movie passes. And congratulations to the both of you for being co-winners in this last part of our contest. So that's it for the NASCAR contest, obviously, for this year. We'll start again next spring, and between now and then, we will talk about and think about and consider changes that we might want to make that might make it work better and be more interesting for people. And if you have any suggestions or ideas about how you think we ought to change it or improve it, or if you prefer that it be made worse, if you have ideas to make it worse, you can do that too. Just let us know over these next few months, and we will consider all suggestions. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing tonight, Ken?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. No, that was a good race yesterday. I was hoping that Blaney would win it too. Of course, I had the 45, and he just wasn't very competitive yesterday. It didn't look like, but it was a good race. I was kind of hoping Blaney would take Logano, beat Logano, not take him out or anything, but win for the championship. But
well, I thought he was going to until the last 4 or 5 laps. And then I realized that he had time to catch him, but he didn't have time to pass him without bumping him, and I knew he wasn't going to bump him. But it was a good finish.
It was. I thought Blaney had the better long run car of most of the race of all the cars out there because he kept catching up, and I thought surely he would catch him, but it didn't happen. I just didn't want to see a Hendrick car win it. That was my main thing.
Well, there are a lot of people, a whole lot of people who do not want to see a Hendrick car win. So all those people got what they wanted yesterday. No Hendrick car.
Yep, certainly did. Ken, I want to thank all the men and women out there today for the service they gave this country, the veterans, and also to the families of veterans, because, if you're in the military for 2 years or 20 years, your family sure sacrifices a lot more than people realize sometimes.
Of course they do, and I'm glad you mentioned that. It is Veterans Day, and to everybody, every veteran and every family member of every veteran, we do appreciate everything you've done.
Yes, sir. I know the election's over with pretty much, but the liberals on this side, we're only going to be on offense for a while instead of defense. We've been on defense for the last 4 years, but this deportation thing that Trump's coming up with, who's going to pay for that? And how's it going to be done? Who's going to do it?
Well, we haven't seen details of that. I know some of the things that he said. He was asked about that at one point in the campaign. And he acknowledged, no, there are not enough federal officers to do that, but he said he was going to get local law enforcement involved in that, which would, I presume, would be local police forces and local sheriff's offices. Of course, the question there is, and there's a lot we don't know. The question there, and I don't know the answer, is to what extent could local law enforcement work in immigration enforcement and still enforce all the other laws that they need to enforce. But I guess at some point we'll see a detailed plan on that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm wondering too, Ken. I mean, everywhere you look, every police department, sheriff's department, everybody's already showing. So if we start pulling people from the locals already, that's going to create quite a shortage, for everybody else. But that being the case, will there be another property increase to offset that, or will that be paid by the federal government, or do we know yet?
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of questions that we don't know the answer to, so I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. Well, on the illegal immigrant thing too, Ken, this country's supposed to have a work first program, but you're supposed to verify the people that you hire, make sure they're not illegals before you hire them. Now, will these companies and corporations, will they be charged and prosecuted for the crimes of hiring illegals?
I doubt it. They never have been. I don't know why. I don't know why they would start prosecuting them now when they've never prosecuted them before.
Yeah, yeah, it just makes you wonder. I mean, you can be illegal and be here, and that's a crime. But you hire somebody that's an illegal, and it's a crime, and that's a crime too, is it not?
Uh, it is. It's illegal to hire an illegal person. Um, Now, many businesses say, and I'm sure it's true in some cases, that they don't know the status of the people they're hiring. They say that in many cases people have fake documentation and that they don't know. Obviously, in many cases, businesses do know, but that is not a law that we have been in the habit of enforcing, at least not to any great extent. And I doubt we'll get into the habit of enforcing it now.
I doubt so either, Ken. I mean, Republicans and Democrats both done it, for decades, and just gone by the wayside. One more thing, on these tariffs that Trump wants to put on them imports coming into the country. Now, could you explain to people that tariffs, the companies or the organizations that's making the product don't pay those, nor does the United States government. It's consumer that pays for everything we buy with a tariff on it. Is that not right?
Yeah, that's right. There seems to be a belief around that, say, if you put a 600%, well, that's a little steep. You put a 100% tariff on, say, goods from China, that China has to pay the tariff to get the goods into the country. But that, of course, is not how tariffs work. The company that imports the products has to pay the tariffs, and then they get their money back by increasing the price to the consumer. That's what tariffs do. Tariffs are designed to make imported products more expensive. I mean that's how they work.
Well, with all that said, and I totally agree with everything, wouldn't that cause inflation to go back up if the prices, on everything from a loaf of bread to medicine, tractors, you name it, clothes, everything. If it's a tariff put on it, that's going to cause inflation to go up again, is it not?
Well, it could certainly influence. I mean, it certainly would cause prices to go up. I mean, again, that's what a tariff is supposed to do. It's supposed to make the prices of an imported product higher. That's what you expect. So yes, what you buy at Walmart with tariffs would become more expensive. Now, in theory, the rest of what tariffs are supposed to do, you make those imported products more expensive, and that, in turn, in theory, makes it more likely that people will buy a domestically made product because the thing that got imported products going big great guns in the first place is they were cheaper. So you fix things so imported products are not cheaper anymore, and then you encourage people to buy domestic products. Of course, those domestic products are going to be more costly than the imported products used to be. So either way, uh, in the theory of tariffs, you end up with higher prices either way.
Exactly. And that the products that's made in this country, Ken, they pretty much don't exist. And I
Well,
don't see a company.
Yeah, there are a lot of
coming
things
back.
we don't make here anymore.
Yeah, that's the whole problem. But I don't see a company moving back here just to say, "Oh, okay, we're going to go to the United States so we can sell more products cheaper." That won't happen either because if it's made here, you don't have to pay more for it. So, I mean, pay more in making it. So,
Well, as far as companies moving back, those will be up to the individual company, and then they will make their decisions based on what's best for their bottom line. That certainly is what companies do. But I guess the main point that we need to understand and be ready for is that a wide ranging, a broad-based program of more tariffs will make things more expensive. How much more expensive? I don't know. Maybe other things can be done to hold down the increases, but tariffs make things cost more. I mean, that's just a fact.
that's the truth. I'm just glad, people would understand that for a change. All right, Ken, thanks so much for taking my call, and I really enjoy your show, man.
Well, thanks for calling. Good to hear from you. We have a line open right now. The phone number's up there. You can also email us at kechols47@gmail.com, and we love to hear from you either way, by email or by phone. Mr. Draper has had an accident. He hasn't hurt himself, has not hurt himself this time, hasn't broken any of himself, um, but he has broken something on his boat, which is bad news. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey Ken, how you doing?
Hey, early bird. How are you?
All right, I want to know what place I come in.
You won.
I
You and Tar Heel in Mayodan tied, and you are co-winners.
who is?
You and Tar Heel in Mayodan, both of you have won. Both of you had the 22, and after the
Yeah.
tiebreaker, you're both tied.
Well, I'll be darned.
Now,
Do we win anything?
what you're going to win? What you're going to win is
Yeah.
free movie tickets at Charles Rourke's
Yeah.
luxurious Hollywood Cinema in Martinsville.
All right. All
Uh,
right.
and I'll know in a couple of days exactly what you have to do to claim your free movie tickets. So we'll be letting you
Okay.
know.
They gonna roll the red carpet out for us when we come to the movie.
I certainly hope so. I hope that Charles will be at the front door in a tuxedo, ready to greet you and introduce you to the assembled multitudes.
We get the VIP seating, don't we?
That's what I'm looking for. If you don't get it, you let me know.
I will, Ken. Okay, I'll let you go. I just want to know who won.
Okay, well, thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good night. Phone line is open at that number, and you can also email us. And in fact, somebody has emailed us. So let me get over here and have at that. Oh yeah, back to Mr. Draper. He broke. What did he break? Uh, he did something. Maybe he'll call and explain it. But he has broken $400. Well, several $400 rotor blades on the boat. Of course, the big question is, does this mean that the boat will not be in any of the parades upcoming? I would think probably it could still be in the parades, but I guess it's certainly going to delay the launch on the Dan River, which we didn't have a scheduled date for that anyway. But whatever the scheduled date would have been, it's now going to be a little bit later because he has had to order replacement rotor blades. And he sent me a couple of pictures here of what happened. But that's the latest on Mr. Draper's boat. And again, if we hear from him later, perhaps we'll get some more detailed and definitive information on that. This emailer says, Ken, I read in the paper that the crooks are scamming people again about these toll roads in North Carolina. where they're telling you that you owe a toll that you don't owe, and then they're stealing your information. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Ken. How you doing?
Good. Well, here we go. So
Yeah.
how bad's the damage?
Well, about $5,000 worth, maybe a little more.
Oh no, that's
It's
bad.
it's a it's okay. Uh, there's 10 blades on the back of that prop. There's 10 blades broke.
Hmm. And how did it happen?
Well, I have this rubber tarp that I cover it with, and I had taken it off and I laid it on the bow. And I wasn't planning on riding it, and so I'm just sitting there giving it a little gas, and had a couple of friends out here, and so it just felt real good. So I just laid on the gas and went on out around the yard, and in 30 seconds I didn't have any more leaves in my yard.
Okay, well, that's a
And
good thing.
yeah, but I didn't have no more prop on the back of my boat either.
A bad thing.
Yeah, the tarp slipped off the bow, slid back on the left, and up under the cage that surrounds the prop. And when the blade caught that rubber that's really stretchy, when the blade caught that, it bent the bottom of the cage on the left side up into the prop. And every blade that hit that metal it bent. The blades are carbon fiber. And it
Yeah.
gave to the backside, and when it snapped back is when it broke off.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness
Yeah,
those
so
blades didn't go flying and hit people.
well, they went flying. They went flying. They punched about 5 or 6 holes through my cage, right out directly left and right, north and south from the prop.
Uh,
And I've got a piece of carbon fiber stuck in an aluminum overflow tank from my radiator up to the very top on the cage.
well,
And
at least
I'm just gonna epoxy around that and leave it there as a
a
reminder.
reminder. Well, at least they didn't
Yeah.
stick in any human beings. So thank the Lord for
That's
that.
true. Yeah, thank the Lord for that, because I'll tell you that carbon fiber blades was probably spinning about, I don't know, 600 miles per hour.
Wow. Well, is
Yeah.
this going to keep you out of the parade?
No, I got 10 on the way. I got 10 already at the shipper. He's gonna get the cardboard tomorrow because today was Veterans Day, and he's gonna wrap them up down in Cocoa, Florida, and ship them up to me.
Well, I guess it's stupid even to ask if you have the boat insured. That's going to come out of your pocket, I guess.
Well, let me tell you how good of friends I have in Florida.
All right.
Okay, these blades are $400 a piece, and I got 10 of them.
Hmm.
That's if you buy them new.
Right.
And now they've got props that are supposedly new inventive types, and they got some called saber blades, which look like a saber sword, and they are a lot quieter. The problem with this blade prop like I've got is it's got a whine to it. It's not good on your ears. And so the new blades have that out of it. They've got really big wide blades now that the thing about my prop, when you stab the gas, the prop goes forward and then it launches you like a slingshot.
Right.
These other big rigid props, they just start pushing instantly, but I get that launch. And anyway, so yeah, my buddy said, look, we go back a long ways, and he said, I'll never run these blades again because I've got these others. He's got 3 race boats down there. He said, I'll just box these up and send them to you for nothing.
Are you seriously?
Yes, honest to the Lord. I mean, I
Well,
shouldn't say that, but yeah,
that
that's
is
what I started thinking. When I started thinking when he said that. He said, I just got them laying in the shop. He said, I'll never run them. I got these other props. You know what I run now. He said, I run the Excalibur. I run the JXs and a bunch of different types. And they push different. All blades from different manufacturers push different.
So that's
Mine's actually made for aircraft.
$5,000 worth of blades. Merry Christmas.
Well, it's $4,000 because the hub and the blocks that they sit in, I've already got all of that. So it's just the blades coming. It's $400 a buck, $400 a piece on 10 blades. That's $4,000 there.
All right. Well, that's a good friend.
But that's a friend right there. That's what he told me. You know, I mean, he knows the whole time I've been building this boat, and he couldn't believe this happened to me.
Well,
anyway,
sorry
it's life.
that
I didn't get mad. I didn't get mad. Didn't get upset. I said, "Well, God, I guess you didn't have plans on me going to the river today." I sure
well,
did.
what else? What else you gonna do?
Exactly. I mean, you know, nobody got hurt, so I'm just thanking the Lord. I said, "Lord, it could be worse."
All right. Well, a setback,
Right.
but thanks to your friend in Florida, you'll soon be moving forward
My
again.
blades are on the way. I can have them on in a matter of an hour or so.
Okay, good. Good news.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks for calling. All right. So Mr. Draper's boat accident is well, you know, it's bad enough. You don't really want to have an accident. But obviously it could have been a whole lot worse, and he's getting his blades for nothing. He didn't even say whether he has to pay shipping and handling. Um, but even if he does, that's still a bargain, getting the blades for free. And we will continue to look forward to seeing Mr. Draper and his watercraft. Actually, it's a land craft too, um, in a parade or two coming up. Getting back to the toll road thing, that is true, emailer. The scammers are at it again with the toll road scam, and we'll get back to that in a second. Hi, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, it's Mark from Marion.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Okay. Yeah, that's good. You doing okay? I seen where Chase Elliott, he came in, what, fifth or sixth, or what I get?
Fifth, I think it was.
Oh, 10th?
I think it was fifth.
Oh, fifth?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh, anyway, what did you see the Dallas Cowboy game last night?
I did not see it, Mark.
But Dallas lost by 30 points.
Yeah. These are not good days for the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't know what's going on with them.
Well, you know, they're just not quite as good as the top teams.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say something. I forgot what I was gonna say. But anyway, is a lot of people calling in about the Christmas parades with Charles them yet?
Now I have not gotten any calls on them yet, but I know everybody's looking forward to them.
Yeah, that must be November 23rd, and November 23rd is Martinsville, and November 24th is Reedsville, ain't it?
Reedsville, that's right. Weekend after next.
Yeah, I told Charles, I told the people at the radio stations I know about it, and maybe they can pass it along to people, or whatever.
Well, I hope
the information
they will.
or whatever.
I hope they will,
Yeah.
because we'd like to get the word out and get big crowds.
Oh yeah. Okay, thanks, Ken.
Well, thank you, Mark. Good to hear from you. Lines open now. Now, what these scammers are doing, they will send you a text, and the text will be disguised to look like it is from the official state agency, the North Carolina Department of Transportation, and the office, the name has escaped me, that oversees toll collection. But if you get that text that says you owe money for driving on this toll road in North Carolina, you will know pretty well whether you've driven on that toll road or not. So do not respond to that text. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Ken. How you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
All right. First, I say special thanks to all the veterans and sacrifices they made for this country.
Good.
Okay, and Ken, I got you asking about suggestions, improvement. I got one now.
What is it?
Since Charles is not having to buy the passes and pay for them, for the movie tickets, and he just basically fill an empty seat, I think he should give tickets to the top 5 winners of your contest, so you can mention that to him.
Tickets for the top 5. Let me
Right.
write that down. I wrote
Okay,
it down.
'cause
Well,
it won't bust his budget.
I will suggest to that. I think it's a good idea.
Okay. All right. Well, Ken, a brief statement here. Well, Ken, Elon Musk had told us to brace for some hard times when he talked about those tariffs and things. He said, country need to brace for some hard times. Said, but it'll be short term. Now, do you know what short term means? Got an idea?
I don't. Elon Musk said, he said that some of the things that we will need to do, he said, are going to involve hardships for some Americans, but the hardships will be temporary. No, I don't know what temporary means.
Okay. All right. Well, again, I saw where the market continued on its upswing. It has been on under the Biden economy, recording a new record of over 44,000 points.
Yeah.
And this is nothing that started November the 5th, but this has been continuing for the last year. Right?
Well, I'm going to mention this very quickly. There's something people need to bear in mind about the stock market setting a record high. The stock market will set a record high during the next Trump administration. It set a record high during the Biden administration. It set a record high in the first Trump administration. It set a record high in the Obama administration. It set a record high in the George W. Bush. I mean, maybe you can pick up on a pattern here. The stock market hits a record high under every
administration. Is this the first
administration.
44,000? Is this the first? It's been upward, but is this the first 44,000 points we've seen?
First time it ever reached 44,000. That is correct.
So from what you're saying, since it's going to do it higher than that, we need to I need to invest some more and let it hit the record again the next year or two.
I don't tell anybody what they ought to do with their money, but I will tell you this. There has never been, since the stock market existed, there has never been a 10-year period in which the value of stocks did not increase. So what the financial advisors say is if you put money in the stock market, diversified, buy a lot of different stocks and leave it alone, it's going to go up. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be higher 6 weeks from now or 2 years from now. It may not be, but they tell us, and history indicates that it will go up. And that's why in every presidential administration in recent memory, and even in not so recent memory, the stock market has reached a record high.
Yeah, but now that theory is good, Ken, for young people.
Sure.
But now elderly and senior citizens don't need to base it on a 10-year
no,
payback.
If you're looking for a short-term increase, then the stock market is not your best bet.
Yeah, you got to be more careful and wise.
Right.
And look, and also the gas. I saw gas this weekend at $2.75 for regular. But my question is, it's going to be interesting next year just to see an improvement on this economy that we now have, because I think a lot of people just don't realize how strong economy that we really have right now.
Well, I certainly hope, just as you do, and that everybody does, I certainly hope gas gets a lot cheaper next year and
Oh,
inflation goes
ourselves
away.
too.
And I hope all that, but we'll wait and
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, I mean, if it just hang where it is, I'll be happy, wouldn't you? But if it does, it's good, and I'm pulling for that because we will all benefit from it, right? Right,
But I mean, if you're talking about the economy is good by traditional measures, and I
right.
guess different people have different ways of evaluating the economy. By
Yeah,
traditional measures,
yeah.
the economy right now is very strong by the traditional measures. Uh,
Right, right,
that I mean,
right.
it is,
Yeah,
but that not
yeah,
a good economy means different things to different people. When you
yeah.
tell people that the economy is good right now by traditional measures, they say, well,
Right.
yeah, but I'm paying a lot more for groceries than I was
Well,
3 years
that's
ago, and that's true. But
that's
it's a question of how
yeah.
you perceive it.
Right. And one quick question: do you feel like the price of groceries uh, is going to come down
No,
now?
no, I don't
I don't
expect the
either.
price of groceries to come down.
No, I don't either. All right, Ken, enjoy your show and talk to Charles about that, because when people come up there, they get accustomed to it. They might start coming back weekly or monthly. Okay?
I'll do it. I'll certainly mention it.
All right. Thanks, Ken.
Well, thanks for calling. Phone line is open right there. You can call us or you can send us an email. Um, and last word on the toll road scam. If you get that text and they're asking you to respond, they'll have an address there that looks kind of like an official state agency, um, but it's probably not, especially if you haven't driven on a toll road. Plus, they're going to ask you for your social security number. And as soon as anybody under any circumstance, in any kind of text, asks you for your social security number, that's when lights should start flashing and sirens should go off. And don't do it um, because the state of North Carolina, even if you legitimately owe a toll and they're legitimately trying to collect, they're not going to ask you for your social security number. So let that be your warning. In fact, I got that call that you may have gotten. I got that call last week from the voice that says, I'm calling from Social Security and we want to make sure that you have received your new Social Security card so that you can get all the benefits that come with it. And the lady then says, in order to verify that you have your new card, can you please give me the number that is on your Social Security card? Mind you, she's already told me that she's calling from Social Security. And I said, well, if you're calling from Social Security, clearly you know my name. So if you're calling from Social Security, don't you also know that number? I mean, you are, after all, Social Security, aren't you? And she says, well, yes, I am, but we don't have access to that information. And I said, well, if you were really Social Security, I think you probably would. Goodbye. So that one's around. That one sort of resurfaces once or twice a year. So that one is around again, and don't do that one either. There's no circumstance under which Social Security is going to call you on the phone and ask you for your Social Security number or your Medicare number or any of that stuff. Just be advised. Let's see, another email over here, if we can get opened up. This one says, well, I have to say you have hit the big time. Your name in lights. Thank you for doing our little Star News Live. Wow, my name in lights? I can't see it. I guess that's something back there, isn't it? I can't see. Even if I turn around, I still won't see it. It doesn't exist here. So I don't know what it looks like, but it sounds good. Name in lights. I go for that. Hey, Ken, this is Jack. Just wanted you and Charles to know I've enjoyed another year of the race picks. Looking forward to the next season. Well, thank you, Jack. And again, any of you who have suggestions, such as the liberal, more people should get prizes. Any of you have any suggestions about the contest and what we might do to improve it and increase your enjoyment, please let us know. Ken, I want to talk about that casino again. I know it's been quiet with the casino lately, but a lot of people are still worried about it now that we've had an election that has come and gone. Is the casino going to come up again pretty soon? Because I don't believe personally that the casino is going to fade away and die as quick and easy as it looks like it has. I'm still very suspicious of the casino. What do you know about it? What do I know about it? I don't know any more than anybody knows. We're talking about what I know. If you want to talk about what I think, which is not worth much either, but what I think is that the issue is not gone. I don't think the casino issue is entirely in the past. Um, I think there are a lot of people, and there's a good deal of money that wants a casino in Rockingham County. So no, I don't think it's just going to fade away and die, but we will see. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Well, talking about this casino, I think a whole lot of the people talking about this casino, they don't know what they're talking about.
Really?
They think they've stopped the casino. That's not right. I mean, look what the people just did.
What did the people just do?
What did they do? Well, they went right over there. They went right out and they voted in that same bunch of county commissioners, the same ones that push that casino right down our throats. And they say they don't want the casino. People say they don't want the casino. And yet they put them very same ones back on the county commission. They say they've county commission has stopped it. They don't know what they're talking about. The county commission is going to push it right down their throats.
Even against the will of the voters, you think?
Well, listen here a minute.
Okay.
The only way that people can stop that casino from coming to Rockingham County is they've got to show the politicians that if they support that casino, they will not get the support of the voters. That is the lesson that the politicians have got to learn. But what have the politicians learned? What did the politicians learn this week?
What?
They learned that they can love that casino. They can work for that casino. They can ignore the public's what the public wants, and they can bring that casino right down on top of us. And they learned this week that the voters will not punish them for it. They just showed them this week, well, yeah, we don't want that casino. But you go ahead and do it, and you collect as much money as you can from getting the casino in here, and we'll come right out and vote for you again. Now that's what we just told the politicians.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me speak.
Well, thank you for calling. And there's a point of view. There's a point of view on the casino. Phone line is open. The number is up there on your screen. You can give us a call or you can send us an email at kechols47@gmail.com. And this emailer says, this emailer, here's a picture of it. I see, but thank you. I see my name in lights. Whoa, that is mighty fancy looking, isn't it? Yeah, that's good. That's probably going to come out of my check, though. That's not that backdrop. I'm sure is not cheap. Somebody's got to pay for that, and it'll most likely be me. But that's okay. Obviously, I don't. One does not work. One does not work at Star News for the money. So that does look good. And I notice Elvis is not in there. Because what we had some strange thing happen a couple of weeks ago, and somebody said, well, if this happens, then Elvis is probably going to be back next thing you know, but maybe not. Ken, I have a suggestion for the contest that I think will make it better. Uh, why don't you divide it up so that all of the segments have an equal number of races? It seems to me it would be more fair that way if everybody has the same number of races that they have to do good in order to win something. It might not be a big thing, but consider making all the number of races about the same in every part of the contest. All right, well that's a reasonable suggestion. I can't remember right off the top of my head exactly how many were in each segment this time. Of course, the first one, we want to finish that in time for somebody to win tickets to the spring race in Martinsville. So that one, by necessity, has to be a little bit shorter. Not real short, but a little bit shorter, so that we'll have tickets for the spring race. Then a whole lot of races after that, from the first to the second race in Martinsville, and we divided that into two segments this year. I think they were generally equal, but I'd have to go back and look and see for sure. But thank you for the suggestion. We'll certainly give some thought with an eye toward more equalization or approaching equalization between the various segments. So that's a suggestion that we will note and seriously consider. So thank you for that. Ken, the Christmas parades, did they say the 23rd in Martinsville and the 24th in Reedsville? Is that right? That's right. 23rd in Martinsville, 24th in Reedsville. And then the emailer adds, will Mark Childry come out of retirement for the parades? Not that I know of. Never say never. But I haven't heard any indication from Mark or from anybody else that he'll be coming out of retirement for a Christmas parade. Ken, I want to say amen to that man that called about the casino. The voters had the perfect opportunity on election day to show the county commissioners that they had better listen to us on that casino. But we did not send them that message, did we? They support the casino and then they don't have anything to worry about on the next election day. So how is that going to encourage the politicians to pay more attention to us? You don't have to answer that question. I'll answer it for you. It will not encourage them to pay more attention to us. It'll do exactly the opposite. It'll teach them that they don't have to worry about the voters at all. And I'm glad somebody called up and said that. All right. Thank you, emailer. And here is one that says, okay, I'm gonna have to digest this one and try to decipher it a little bit because I'm not really quite getting what that one is supposed to be saying. I get this one though. People have been talking about who won the race yesterday. I haven't heard anybody talk about the pace car hitting the the pace car hitting the barrels at the entrance to pit road. I I ain't never seen anything like that in a race. Have you? No. No, I ain't never seen anything like that in a race either. If you saw the whole race, you saw that. If you didn't see the entire race, you might have missed it. There were a caution lap. Actually, I think it was between the stage one and stage two. I think it was, and the pace car was leading him around and came around the fourth turn. And all of a sudden, the driver of the pace car decided he was supposed to go in the pits, but he'd already gone too far past the entrance to pit road. So he just hung a hard right, a real hard right, and went down to the entrance of pit road and went straight through all those water barrels that they have there at the end. So he just scattered those barrels, and I think ruined ruined at least a couple. And so then they had to run several more pace laps then because they had to come out there and clean up the barrels and rework the entrance to pit road after the pace car utterly and totally wrecked it. Did a little bit of damage to the pace car. The pace car was not it wasn't disabled by any means, but it had a pretty good dent in the right rear quarter panel of the pace car. In fact, they brought out a new pace car. I didn't know they had two pace cars. Maybe they've thought about that. We need to have a contingency in case somebody wrecks the first pace car. We better have a second one, and they did. And they put the same driver in the second pace car too. But no, emailer, that's first for me. Never saw that before. And one of the announcers, I forget which one it was, says, you know, you go to races all these years and you think you've seen everything you can see, and then you see something like this. So no, that was a brand new one for me. Ken, I want to repeat what a couple of people have said. Our thanks and our appreciation and our sincere love and respect for every single person who has served in our armed forces, whether you've been in combat or not, whether you've been deployed or not, whatever your job has been in our military, it is important and you are important. So on Veterans Day, thanks to all of you. Our thanks and our good wishes and our prayers are with you always. Well, thank you, emailer. And that's a good way to end the show tonight on Veterans Day. We are on the air Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Hope you'll join us for our next show. Thank you for watching. I'm Ken Echols.